Hello, hello. How are we today on this Sunday? I'm on time. On time. Wearing my Sammy Guevara. I hate when I'm sitting down doing the lives on the laptop. You can't really see my full body. But here we go. Talking about it. Let's talk about it. What happened this week in wrestling? First and foremost, let's talk about Elimination Chambers. We do know that is what we really want to talk about, Elimination Chamber. And those winners, I'm not surprised by the female winner, Rhea Ripley. Again, not surprised. Let me pull up all the results. Javon Evans not winning is not a surprise. Who they chose, Randy, is not a surprise either. I mean, it is a surprise to a sense. But let's get to it. Rhea Ripley. Again, not surprising that she would win. A lot of this stuff was a little disappointing, if we're being honest. With the CM Punk defeating Balor. I mean, all of this was predictable. The guy making his debut, what's his name? Dunashan, whatever his name is, from AEW. Again, him in the crate was very predictable. So a lot of this stuff was very predictable at this pay-per-view. AJ Lee winning, very predictable. Again, she hasn't wrestled in how long again? Yeah, that she won the title. It's kind of confusing. Again, she keeps saying she hasn't wrestled in a decade, yet she's the one that ended up winning the title. So again, not very surprising, very one-sided this feud is at this point. Aressa Palazzo, she already defeated Becky Lynch, and then she defeated her one-on-one. So it kind of makes Becky Lynch look weak. Because again, even AJ Lee says she hasn't wrestled in over a decade on one-on-one match. Finn Balor, I really don't know where to go, from here. Or maybe they're going to do something with him and Dominic Mysterio at WrestleMania. Or maybe him and JD will do something at WrestleMania. They will face each other. But again, I really don't know what else to do with Finn Balor. At this point, he's not really a reasonable threat for a WWE Championship. Again, he always loses, so it's not a surprise. Hey Spetty, how are you? Oh yeah, I kind of figured she was going to lose because it seems like they're giving a lot of things to AJ Lee, who again is part-time. I would say Becky Lynch isn't there every week sometimes, but she is there usually at least 3 times a month. But that being said, AJ Lee winning is very not surprising that they would go that route. I don't know if they're trying to be apologetic of what they did to her years ago when she left and they were on bad terms. Remember, they gave Nikki Bella her title reign. Remember that? They gave Nikki Bella her title reign for the longest Divas Championship. So maybe they're trying to, I don't know, make well with that. A lot of people are saying that AJ Lee can't really wrestle as good as she did back in 2013. A lot of people are a little upset about that. They are a little upset that AJ Lee is getting all these opportunities. Again, it kind of made Becky Lynch look weak again because she hasn't really got the upper hand with AJ Lee. Again, Wrestle Palazzo, AJ Lee won, and now she won the title. So again, this is very one-sided, this feud. Again, JD or Dominic Mysterio, they may be the ones that face Finn Balor at WrestleMania. Maybe that's what they do. That might be an idea. Again, Finn Balor not winning. Are we surprised? No. We're not shocked. We're not shocked that Finn Balor lost. It's very predictable that he lost. Hey Frank, how are you? We're talking about Elimination Chamber right now. We are gossiping. I will say later, I do want to mention with AEW that they're not really using Ace Austin. And Myron Reed is the one that they're really not using with the Rascals, if you really notice. But let's continue. Hello, David. How are you? Do you have anything to say about Elimination Chamber? That's what we're talking about right now. Elimination Chamber. Trick Williams Huge star, Carmelo Hayes. I do think I saw him wrestling on SmackDown. Who was he wrestling again? Was he wrestling The Miz? He was wrestling somebody. But Trick Williams, huge star. I think he's already outshining Carmelo Hayes. I don't like to compare, but since people are already comparing these two, I am already thinking he's already outshined Carmelo Hayes on the main roster. Don Hazen, whatever his name is, yeah, I remember him from AEW with, sorry, with the paint, looking like a clown. Again, he's going to be a comedy character. I do see him being paired maybe with R-Truth. Again, I do feel like he will be paired with R-Truth a lot. Unfortunately, I don't really feel like he's going to go far in the wrestling aspect of WWE. I think he's more going to be a comedy character. I do feel like maybe he will be a merchandise driver because he does have that clown look to him that's really kiddie friendly. Again, him making his debut was not surprising when we had news articles that he got removed from the AEW roster a day before Elimination Chamber. So kind of confirmed that once we saw he was removed from AEW's roster, that he wasn't going to be used for the AEW no more, that he clearly was going to WWE. They hyped it for nothing. So a lot of people were disappointed, I would say, with his debut. Again, him coming in the box. It would have been more powerful if it was Break the Walls Now, and it was literally Chris Jericho breaking down the walls by kicking the box and breaking out of the wall. I mean, again, break the walls. It kind of would have made a little bit more sense if it was a Chris Jericho. I mean, yeah, him living in there wouldn't have made sense. It would have made his character a little bit weird, him living in the box, but still, Break the Wall Now would have made a little bit more sense. Logan Paul versus Rollins should be good. I feel like Logan Paul, if that happens, we need to have Logan Paul be the one to get the upper hand. I feel like he has been here consistently while the others have been injured. He has taken this very seriously. He's doing this full time. This isn't no part-time shit for him. Not saying, Seth Rollins is part-time, but you know what I mean. He's been injured for a little while now. But Logan Paul has been coming every week or every other week. So maybe Logan Paul will eventually get the WWE Championship, and this is a way to show that he's almost ready for that position by feuding with a Seth Rollins. Just saying. And here's my Sammy shirt. Again, you can't really see my full body when I do this live. Sorry, but let's talk about something else. Oh, so you didn't even care. Okay, I didn't even care who was in the box. Okay, so the box whole gimmick to you was cheesy from the get-go. The mystery man, the person that was revealed who we really didn't know. I mean, again, I thought it was Adam Pearce. I really feel like he has something to do with this, to be honest with you. I really feel like Adam Pearce has something to do with this. But we will see that sooner than later. Adam Pearce, he kind of gets a heel vibe from me. I don't like how him and Nick Aldis are always interacting a lot. I get that they're separate brands, both general managers, but still, they shouldn't always be interacting that much, especially with the box thing. It kind of didn't make sense either, why both of them were there. But it is what it is. I do feel like Nick Aldis might wrestle soon, again with the DLC. I'm sorry, with this WWE 2K26, they're making these managers now playable, which is kind of indicating maybe one of them will get physical soon. Again, Adam Pearce, I could see more getting physical than Nick Aldis for some odd reason, because it would fit his character, him being tired of being pushed around. Again, I could see Adam Pearce being tired of being pushed around. And speaking of Danhausen, WrestlingInc.com. Let's put him on the big screen. again, some people from AEW, once they go to WWE, they make it to the main roster. And then some of them don't make it to the main roster, kind of like a Mariah May. So I guess this time Danhausen is someone that actually made it to the main roster, kind of like a Royce Keys and a Jay Cargo. But then we have people like a Ricky Saints, Ricky Starks, who don't even make it on the main roster. They have to go to NXT. So some things make me wonder how these things are decided. Again, I don't know if he's more marketable than a Ricky Saints as a wrestler. I mean, again, I don't know why he would be more marketable than Ricky Saints as a wrestler. I mean, again, his whole gimmick is just characteristics of, a clown. I mean, look at him and his little clown helpers that are posing with him. Again, it's all theatrics. It's all multiple things. It's all lighting. It's all sparkling boxes. There's a lot of outside shit to make him pop. Again, it's not about his wrestling. It's more about his image at this point. Brock Lesnar versus Oba or LA Knight. It was rumored for a while now that it would be Brock Lesnar versus LA Knight. I don't know what they would do for a Brock Lesnar. Again, him defeating LA Knight will not do anything. I don't feel like LA Knight would get over if that match happens. Again, I don't feel like LA Knight would be the one to win. Oba and Brock Lesnar would be a little bit more impactful, because Oba is clearly the next powerhouse in WWE. So it would make sense if he would face Brock Lesnar. I am AJ Lee. Fun, but I really had no interest in the match. Oh, you're happy that AJ Lee won. Okay. I mean, I know she has her fans. I mean, I was a fan of hers back in the day. I felt like she was a little bit different when the women's division was really lacking talent. So she was one of those that actually could wrestle at the time. But now that it's been over a decade and we have a lot of female wrestlers such as Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, who else is there? Lash Legend. We have so many other women that can wrestle now that she kind of needs to keep up with them. I'm not saying she can't keep up, but I'm not saying that she's the best on the roster like she kind of was back in 2013 when there wasn't really a lot of women wrestlers. I think Dominic Mysterio will face, allegedly, Finn Balor. I mean, I feel like something's going to happen in the Judgment Day where they're going to either betray each other or tension gets thick to the point that one of them challenges Dominic for his title since he thinks he's the best in the group. I don't know. Or there's going to be a betrayal. If there's a betrayal, it would have to be JD and Dominic Mysterio betraying Finn Balor, or it can be Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan betraying Finn Balor. I mean, again, there was a point where Finn Balor was kind of a bitch to Liv Morgan, where he was kind of enjoying negativity happening to her. He kind of was enjoying negativity happening with Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan. So at one point he was being an ass to both of them. Don't really know what happened to that storyline. I guess she got injured and he just started liking her again, but there was a point where he was being a little bitchy. Okay. Oh, Lord. Not Dominic Mysterio, Rey Mysterio. Okay, if they do that, I would hope that would be Rey's last match, to be honest. Because I do know that they always interact in each other's career ever since Dominic Mysterio joined WWE. Rey Mysterio somehow is involved in Dominic Mysterio's storylines. If we look at it, again, he was part of that AAA thing recently where Dominic Mysterio was involved. So it does seem like Rey Mysterio is usually in the mix with Dominic Mysterio. I mean, there was a point where Rey Mysterio was the main person that the Judgment Day was aiming at. I guess they kind of stopped doing that. They're no longer aiming for him. But again, if we're going back to that, then maybe his career should be on the line. career versus title. I mean, I guess if Dominic Mysterio loses, I guess he would lose because his dad did not lose his career. But again, if he wins, that would be something for him to have on his accolades. I'm sure Rey Mysterio would love for Dominic Mysterio to retire him in real life. Cody and Drew is very, I feel like Drew will retain, but Cody and Drew is very generic and very safe. Maybe that's why they're doing that. It's a very safe match because both men are good workers and they work well together. But again, the storyline is getting a little old when you keep on trying to use the same two people together. I mean, again, Drew McIntyre. Sometimes you kind of forget that he's the champion because he's not really booked well. Carmelo Hayes probably end up in a fatal 4-way or something at Mania. Hopefully he does something. I mean, Carmelo Hayes, I do like him. I do feel like he's fast paced. I do feel like he is a good wrestler. I do feel like he depends on his looks a little too much. I mean, it's more about his looks, looking flashy, looking pretty, compared to Trick Williams, where it's about the wrestling, the promo, and then his looks is also a factor that makes him a star, where Carmelo Hayes is all about looking pretty, making sure his makeup is good, making sure his lips are moist, making sure when he does a cartwheel it's flashy, overselling. When he gets DDT, his whole neck hurts. Like, it's always so drama filled when it's Carmelo Hayes. It's like theatrics, theater compared to Trick Williams, which is more of a bulky guy, handsome, not the pretty boy, just handsome, powerhouse, whoop that trick. It's, the whole arena saying his catchphrase. So again, that's why I say Carmelo Hayes is already being outshined by his former partner. Even though he's the champion, oddly enough. They even say whoop that trick even when Trick Williams is not even there. They'll be saying that, like, whoop that trick. And it's like, oh wow, he's not even there. But what are they doing with Royce? Don't Frank said at Friday Night SmackDown. I think Frank was saying to Spetty basically that they would have that triple threat, that fatal 4-way at Friday Night SmackDown or WWE 2K26, which is a reminder that is coming out soon. No, I do not work with 2K, but I do like WWE, and I hope their games do okay. But yes, you can also have that in the new game. Is anyone going to buy the game? I'm a little bit excited. This is gossip, so let's talk about that too. Is anybody excited for WWE 2K26? I do know they have some additions, I think, where you can already play it, correct? So some people are already playing the game. I buy it because it's a tradition at this point. I've been doing this for years. Sometimes it gets a little bit better. If it doesn't, I say my opinions. But we shall see how this year it goes. I heard a lot of things will be under a paywall, or you got to do a lot of different missions to unlock shit this year. So I don't know what that's all about. I've never been that type that looked that much into the games and the backstage news and the updates. When it comes out, it comes out. What are they doing with Royce Keys? He was on a dark match again, put him on SmackDown. I thought he was on the main roster on SmackDown. So that's what they're doing now. They're putting him in dark matches. I don't know what they have planned for him. Sometimes, to be honest, I feel like WWE and AEW, they just sign other people's companies' biggest stars or stars just to make sure the other company doesn't retain them. So I don't know if this is the case where they really don't have any plans for him because they want him, to be in WWE instead of AEW. So they really didn't think things through when he actually signed the contract, when he actually did. But again, he was part of Stephanie McMahon's podcast, so I guess they're trying to promote him on her podcast that they keep promoting, Stephanie McMahon. So I guess if you want to learn more about him, he was at least on, Stephanie McMahon's podcast. That's some promotion a little bit, I guess. And And by the way, this is Marquelworld, all things pro wrestling news my life. Please like and follow. It does help. Cody versus Randy is a bigger match, but that would screw Drew. Cody versus Randy would be bigger because they were both part of not Evolution, Legacy. Remember that group? Ted, Randy, and Cody. Yep, it was them three. Ted, Cody, and Randy were Legacy. So again, they do have some history together. I mean, Cody Rhodes basically was his lackey at one point. I mean, again, this was a group to kind of help both of the men, Ted DiBiase and Cody Rhodes, get used to the main roster. But this was also a group for Randy Orton to be the dominant leader. Because, again, I think his career, they kind of didn't really know what to do with him. So they made him a leader of this brand new group, which, you know, had these three young stars. I mean, Randy Orton was still young back then, too. The whole crowd was dead when he came out of the box. I mean, it's not surprising. Again, we were already kind of expecting him to show up. So again, when he did show up, it was no surprise. I guess, okay, I guess Frank agreed with Spetty about Cody and Randy would be the bigger, but it would kind of screw Drew McIntyre. Again, Drew McIntyre, sometimes we don't even remember that he is the champion because of the way that he's booked. Let's be real, sometimes he's not really booked as a champion or the main event player on the roster. Huh. That's funny what Frank said. Royce Keys might be in catering with the other jobbers. I mean, I know this week he was podcasting, so he was being interviewed. I think WWE is going to screw Drew over and have Cody win the title, so it'll be Cody versus Randy at Mania. I mean, allegedly, Frank, we were going to have Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns Part 2. Well, Part 3, but we all know that's not happening anymore. But yes, we shall see what happens. Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton at Mania would be huge, but also would be huge at SummerSlam. I mean, sometimes we do need some nice SummerSlam pay-per-view main events. I mean, SummerSlam is supposed to be, what, the third biggest pay-per-view? I guess it's, what is it, WrestleMania? Then is it SummerSlam? Is it WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam? But it is one of the top three. Again, SummerSlam is as big as WrestleMania is going to be because allegedly they're going to add 2 nights soon. Okay, so Wrestling Inc., the mysterious content of the box were unveiled at WWE Elimination Chamber with former AEW star Don Hazen emerging from it in his WWE debut. Looking ahead, the very nice, very evil star now expected to be part of the WWE for the foreseeable future. According to Body Slam, Don Hazen has inked a WWE contract that is multiple years in length. The outlet further reports WWE officials originally hoped to sign in July 2025, but due to AEW extending his former deal with it, he remained unable to hit the free agency until 2026. So I guess this was something that he's been wanting to do for a while, leave AEW. Regarding his WWE debut, PW Elite reports that WWE went to great lengths to conceal him so fans in Chicago couldn't spot him ahead of WWE Elimination Chamber. Kind of was obvious it was him, but okay. WWE Raw and WWE SmackDown general managers Adam Pearce, again, and Nick Aldis opened the box at the premiere live event to reveal a coffin sitting inside of it. Once the coffin swung open, a series of dancers marched out with Don Hazen following behind for the occasion. Don Hazen donned his signature shaven demonic face paint and even interacted with WWE commentators Michael Cole and Wayne Barrett. Following his initial arrival, PWI Elite indicates that Don Hazen will be on site for tomorrow's edition of Raw, which will further confirm he's on the Raw roster. Okay? So we shall see what happened with him, we shall see. Allegedly, they did try to hide him. I guess they didn't really have to hide him because it kind of was obvious that it was him. But again, I guess they wanted to keep that a secret. Yeah, we're talking about that right now a little bit. Anthony, how are you? Yes, I'm doing well. A little bit tired. I do apologize. But yes, we just talked about Don Hazen and his debut. It wasn't really that surprising. Again, it would have been a little bit different if it was Break the Walls and it was actually Chris Jericho breaking down the walls. But again, this is what we got. Again, we shall see what he does in the main roster. We already have Royce Keys that is in catering, allegedly, or doing these dark matches. So the roster is getting pretty stacked. But let's get some more wrestling gossip. So more about him, WrestlingNews.co. Allegedly, the signing of him. Now, Ringside News, WWE officials were split on signing Danhausen. So again, this shows that not everybody was in favor of signing him. Ringside News is reporting. They guess a lot of people weren't kind of on the same page with signing him. People pushed for him. There were people who didn't want him. This was half and half decision or anything like that. I would guess that the people who didn't want him are thinking, sure didn't work out so well this time. Okay, so I guess allegedly some people are already hoping or already anticipating the failure of him. Because again, I guess some people within the hiring in WWE did not want to hire him. We do have Penelope Ford, who was injured. She's very, very injury prone. If we're being real, she's very injury prone. Penelope Ford. Again, some people were blaming Harley Carmen, so people were giving her death threats, things in that nature, to the point that she had to get off of her X account. But let's put her on the screen. Again, she gets injured a lot. I felt like she just came from injury, Miss Ford, to join Megan, and now she's already injured again. So again, she gets injured pretty fast. So again, I hope she's not like a Tegan Knox that just gets injured and injured and injured all the time. That we're waiting for her to come back because she always gets injured. Not trying to be rude, just trying to be real. I mean, didn't she just come back from an injury? Okay, I guess I was talking about her too much to the point I can't even find the picture I saved of her. Oh, come on. Okay, so let's put her on the hot seat. Again, I don't know what Megan's going to do. I don't know why she's not TBS champion, but it is what it is. I guess they'd rather have a double champion, right? But here she goes. But let's see. I feel like need fired WWE creative members. Oh, okay. So Frank feels like creative in WWE should be changed a little bit. I do feel like for sure with TNA, I don't like their creative and how they're giving NXT all their titles. That's a little bit silly. But yes, WWE sometimes can do a little bit better. I do think WWE and Raw, that is the best with creative and storylines to me, but sometimes the pay-per-views can fall flat. AEW, they're known for great pay-per-views and, delivering, but the writing for AEW is not really that good either. But, I don't know what they have to change. I don't know if they need more former WWE wrestlers that used to be wrestlers, if they need to be more behind the scenes, or if we need just more people that are good with storytelling and creative and story writers who don't have former WWE experience. I mean, you would say, yes, if they have former WWE experience, it would be better. But I'm just stating, maybe it would be better if it was just someone that's good with creative and they can get the characters and create based off just a creative space instead of a WWE space because they used to do it. Again, I feel like they do have a lot of former wrestlers that are making creative, which you have to think about it. Creative, it's its own thing. It's not for wrestlers to do. I mean, sometimes if you pay your dues and you're a legend, they'll use you for creative, but that's not usually what wrestlers, are aiming to do when they train to wrestle. They train to be wrestlers, just like people in creative go to school to write scripts. Two different professions. Again, a lot of people always feel like because you used to work in WWE, you used to have the knowledge that you should be on the creative team, but that's not always true. AEW's eternal reaction after Paramount emerges as top bidder for Warner Brothers Discovery. AEW future has been thrown into the spotlight following Warner Brothers Discovery announcement that Paramount Skydance acquisition proposal is now considered a company's superior proposal. The development immediately raised questions about what could happen to AEW program, but a new update reveals how people inside the company are actually reacting behind closed doors. Despite the massive corporate shakeup, AEW talent and staff are not panicking. Fightful Select Sean Ross reported that based on the direct conversation, there is no widespread concern internally about Paramount potentially taking control of Warner Brothers Discovery. Saps explained that AEW's current media rights agreements give the company long-term stability regardless of the merger outcome, which is helping ease fears internally. As far as reaction, nobody that I talked to there has seemed worried, and now that's just the people that I've talked to. But that's because, like, the AEW deal for sure goes through 2027, right? There's another option year after that, so at least the being able to nail down the deal, get it all sorted, and actually happening will take them into 2027. At which point, I'm sure WBD and Paramount will make the decision, okay, we're either going to renew them, we're going to let them lapse. Okay. So we shall see what happens. We do know with Paramount Plus, that is something that's major. I do have Paramount Plus. If they do get it, will Paramount Plus be another streaming option for AEW? I feel like that could happen. It could be a Prime exclusive. And I know a lot of people might laugh at that, but I don't feel like that would be funny. I feel like that would just be a smart way. And being streaming, again, streaming is becoming the new thing of 2020s. We have Paramount Plus now streaming NBA. We have Paramount Plus streaming the Grammys and other award shows sometimes. So again, streaming is becoming the next big thing. We have Netflix streaming, they host Raw. We have Roku streaming, they host NWA, the Roku channel, a streaming app. We have, Evolve on Tubi. Yes, WWE Evolve on Tubi, which is a streaming app. So again, a lot of these wrestling companies are using streaming apps to broadcast their promotions. Again, we do have the indie wrestling. They also stream their wrestling on High Spots TV. Again, Triller TV. Again, streaming. Again, so Amazon having AEW would not be a bad thing. I guess that would be a little bit smart. I mean, who has Amazon Prime? I do. A lot of people have Amazon Prime. So I guess it would be more, worldwide in a sense, because a lot of people have Amazon. As long as WWE is dealing Paramount Plus. I didn't realize WWE was even had anything to do with Paramount. They do? And thank you, because you're letting me know something. I didn't realize they had anything to do with Paramount Plus. Or unless you're talking about Peacock, because they used to have Peacock. But we have Wrestling Inc. The media landscape in the United States looks to be going through a major change in the near future as the bidding war to acquire AEW broadcasting partner Warner Brothers Discovery seems to have been won by Paramount. Originally, Netflix had submitted an offer and details on how things would have been broken down has reported, but Paramount's offer was one that Netflix simply could not match. And bearing any federal regulatory problems, Paramount will officially acquire WBD later this year. In the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer assessed what the Paramount WBD deal means to AEW, given that the company has a rights deal with WBD that will last until the end of 2027 at the earliest, and the fact that WBD owns a small stake of the company. Meltzer explained that both Paramount and Netflix would have posed problems for AEW. But the biggest plus point is that Paramount is picking up the television station. That means that all AEW assets will be kept together instead of broken up, which would have happened if the Netflix deal went through, making AEW more valuable in theory. How would it have been more valuable if they already have WWE? I don't even think they would want one. They would want AEW if they already have WWE. But maybe they would be a little bit greedy and want both. However, the perception of AEW would be very important as Paramount will be forced to cut back on expenses due to the overwhelming amount of debt attached to the deal and the fact that several jobs would be cut. AEW would need to be viewed as valuable sport entertainment programming that is cheaper than something like UFC and can produce more programming than any sport like boxing. It would be a real help. With that said, much like AOL Time Warner merger that led to demise of WCW in 2001, the person making the big decision in regards to TV and streaming doesn't see wrestling as important property, and if AEW isn't strong from a fan's perspective, the company could be in danger. With Paramount now on the verge of acquiring WBD, it means that Paramount could potentially want a part of the wrestling business. Meltzer noted through the purchase, Paramount would become a part owner of AEW thanks to WBD's current stake in the company. However, AEW would still be able to sell its media rights, which would be stronger now than television streaming are being kept together to the highest bidder. When the current deal expires, Paramount doesn't have a wrestling component right now, with the closest thing that being the deal with UFC. But Meltzer believes that this could be Paramount's way of getting in the business without having to pay WWE prices. Meltzer also mentioned other green flags for the Paramount deal include AEW's potential getting more exposure thanks to having a business connection to a network. HBO Max will want to keep it separate from Paramount Plus, but that would phase AEW as HBO Max currently gets the cut off pay-per-view buys on the service. AEW is also not as valuable as a company like UFC or sports like boxing, meaning that they are far more valuable to them as financial perspectives than the UFC. Okay, so they're just perspective. Okay. However, there are a lot of red flags relating to the deal, with the main one being the amount of debt it's taking to get this deal over the line, to the point where Meltzer doesn't believe this deal makes any financial sense. Due to the amount of cuts Paramount will have to make with AEW not being as valuable of the UFC, the company may want to keep the major assets in the portfolio and get rid of something like AEW, with the television station likely to get gutted over time. If AEW only stays on HBO Max, which could potentially merge with Paramount Plus, it would cut the amount of homes that have weekly access to AEW by 2/3. Okay, let me stop reading for a while. Short term, AEW is good. Long term, they are in trouble. TKO's in bed with WWE. Right. Okay. I know TKO and WWE are, aren't they like the same company? Or Endeavor and TKO, aren't they like the same company? I forget. But yeah, I see what you're saying. The rumor is that Paramount Plus wants everything, all the TV channels. What? How is this even possible? I didn't realize that. I do know what recently happened. PBS, isn't that with Sesame Street? I know they're not publicly backed up anymore, right? Due to the Trump administration saying that it shouldn't be backed up anymore. But I didn't realize all this was happening. I thank you, Frank. That they want all the stations. Let's continue. The natural reaction from people in relation to this still has been one of the negativity due to one company basically owning the majority of Hollywood, something that movie fans have been very worried about. But when it comes to AEW, it seems a little bit early for people to worry about the sky falling down the company. One thing I've always believed is no matter what happens with Paramount, WBD, Netflix, or anything to do with the potential purchase of a media, AEW will probably be fine. Tony Khan and the Khan family is a lot more wealthy than people think, and Tony is a man who is more than happy to spend his money as freely he wants. What I'm getting at here is that no matter what happens with the current deal, the long run, AEW will continue as long as Tony Khan wants it to. AEW is at its core a passion project for Tony, meaning that if he wants to own a wrestling company, he will own a wrestling company. Sure, that might mean things do go south for AEW when it comes to negotiation in 2027, 2028. If the extra year option is exercised on the current deal, it won't operate the same level as it's been since 2019. Think of how TNA started to go downhill in 2010s after the company lost its deal with Spike TV. Everyone thought that would be the end, but TNA closed its way back and now the best positions ever been. That could be the similar fate AEW if the Paramount deal doesn't work. The weekly program might migrate to YouTube. A bigger deal with Amazon Prime might be created, or Honor Club might be turned into a full-blown AEW streaming service. But whatever the results may be, AEW will exist in some capacity. Okay. So that's good to read. Let's read something about TNA now. TNA Impact News. They're just giving the results. So Mickie James is back in TNA. It looks like this is like a full-time run. It doesn't look like it's just a part-time run. It looks like it is a full-time run. Alright, let's do this. Ringside News, JBL explains why in-ring combat fell apart after TNA creative change. JBL was closer to stepping back into the ring, than most fans realized, but a creative shakeup stopped its cold. During the recent appearance on TMZ Inside the Ring, the WWE Hall of Famer addressed speculation about a full-time in-ring return with recent appearances in GCW and AAA. Plus reports of him training with Jody Marquelworld and Gerald Briscoe made believe a serious comeback was brewing. According to JBL, it almost happened, he revealed, that he had agreed in principle to do something with TNA last year. But once creative direction shifted, he walked away. Yeah, I was going to do it last year and it didn't work out. I was going to do something in TNA. And please, by the way, this is Marquelworld. Please like and follow. I post pro wrestling news at least 3 times a week. We are gossiping. And it didn't work out. They had creative change and I didn't like what the creative was. I didn't think it was really good. I don't think it was good for business or good for me or good for anything. And so I told them, I said, I'm not really interested in doing it. And so I walked out of it and still have a good relationship with them. I mean, that's how it should be. If you don't believe in the creative and you are the wrestler and you paid your ways, I guess that is why you have to pay your dues. Because once you do pay your dues, you can be like a JBL and say, hey, respectfully, I paid my dues. This is not to go with my character. So thank you, but no thank you. But let me read. That's why Netflix backed out, because they were not going to overpay for WB. I know Netflix has gotten higher I have Netflix. I didn't realize I only have the 1080 Netflix. I didn't realize I have to pay an extra $5 to get 4K. But I do have it with no commercials Netflix, so it is good for what it is. But I didn't realize I had to pay extra for 4K. But Netflix has gotten greedy themselves with the prices, the increase. It used to be, what, $10 at some point? $10, $12. Now it's like $28. So they have gotten high. Everyone's getting high in prices. Ash by Elegance, she's still not reporting what happened. Why she stepped out of the ring. I do know Mickie James kind of mentioned that she was taking it as a joke by retiring and then just coming back and not really explaining what happened. And then Ash by Elegance again said she will tell us when she's ready. When she's ready, she'll tell us. We got something ringside news. AEW's Adam Cole's AEW future remains uncertain months after Tony Khan offered a hopeful update. As the news report revealed, there's still no movement towards his return while he continues dealing with serious post-concussion issues. Back in December 2025, Cole made a surprise video appearance during the World End Zero Hour broadcast, giving fans hope that his recovery was progressing. AEW President Tony Khan made it clear at the time that Cole's health remained the priority, and the company was simply happy to have him involved in any capacity. Khan addressed Cole's appearance and mentioned there was no pressure on him to rush back. While there's certainty, no pressure, I was just really happy to hear from Adam Cole, and I thought the fans would be happy to see him. He also stressed that Cole made the right decision by stepping away from in-ring competition and focusing entirely on his recovery. At the time, Khan said Cole appeared to be doing well, though he stopped short of offering any medical timeline. With Seth Rollins' return, let's talk about this real fast. With the return of Seth Rollins, let's talk about this real fast. Again, ringside news. Seth Rollins' WWE WrestleMania status after Elimination Chamber return. Seth Rollins' shocking return, and again, I did report this that Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker were working really hard on returning, so this is no surprise that he did return. Seth Rollins' shocking return to WWE Elimination Chamber wasn't just one-off moment. It now appears to signal a full comeback, with new news reports indicating he may already be cleared and on track for WrestleMania. According to Bodyslam.net, Rollins is currently expected to compete at WrestleMania 42 and may already be medically cleared following his shoulder surgery that had previously sidelined him. WWE is reportedly optimistic about his status, signaling that his in-ring return is soon. Rollins stunned fans in Chicago when he revealed himself as the masked attacker inside the Elimination Chamber. After slipping into the structure unnoticed, he blindsided Logan Paul with a super kick followed by a stomp. Cody Rhodes immediately capitalized, pinning Paul and eliminating him from the match. The moment marked Rollins' first physical involvement since being written on TV on October 13, 2025. At the time, he was attacked by Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, his former allies, again, which really didn't make sense since Logan Paul really wasn't involved in it. His former allies in the Vision faction. After suffering an injury in his match against Cody Rhodes, a WWE crown jewel, Rollins underwent surgery shortly afterwards, and his WrestleMania status had remained uncertain until now. The situation also hangs on Breaker's health. WWE reportedly hopes Breaker will be cleared in time for WrestleMania. Again, I said both of them were trying to get back and both of them were preparing, which could set up a direct clash between the former stablemates. So again, instead of Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul, I guess they're kind of indicating maybe Braun Breaker will return, spice it up a little bit, and maybe he will attack Seth Rollins. Let me read. Rollins' dramatic return and reported clearance significantly reshapes WWE WrestleMania's landscape. After months away and questions surrounding his recovery, Rollins now appears ready to reclaim his place on the biggest stage in them all, WrestleMania. Do you want Rollins versus Braun Breaker or Rollins versus Logan Paul? Again, for Logan Paul, for him to win, this would put him on the map. That he is a WWE champion material if he does, defeat a former world champion and a WWE future Hall of Famer, Seth Rollins. I mean, we have to give it to him. He is a future Hall of Famer. This is old, but this was like 2 weeks ago. Bad Bunny receives open invitation to make TNA appearance, which he probably won't. Santino Marella has officially entered the Bad Bunny conversation as he's inviting the global superstar to TNA. After Logan Paul recently floated the idea of a match with the Grammy-winning superstar, the director of authority at TNA, Santino Marella, has publicly extended an invitation of his own. Speaking to Sports Shadow on February 15, 2026, Santino was asked directly whether he would welcome Bad Bunny to TNA. His answer was immediate. Yes, of course he can come to TNA. That would bring a lot of eyes to the company and the product. Hey, at least he's keeping it real, right? Santino Marella framed the potential appearance as more than just a celebrity cameo. Santino made it clear that the star power like Bad Bunny could help wrestling regain the mainstream appeal. He is right. WWE, TNA used to have a lot of mainstream appeal. Like, you used to go to school, people would have the WWE lunchboxes. You used to go to the mall, people would have wrestling shirts on. Now we do this, we go to the mall. Well, I don't even know if people still go to the mall. I just went this Friday. But now when people go to the mall, you really don't see any wrestling shirts. You don't really see people with Sammy shirts like here. You don't really see someone with a Sammy shirt. So again, you don't really see people wearing wrestling gears outside of wrestling events. So again, maybe he can help it become mainstream again. Maybe he can. Again, Bad Bunny is already part of WWE. So again, I think he has some unfinished business with Damian Priest. I do know Damian Priest is now a babyface, so it kind of might not make any sense. But again, he does have history with Damian Priest. But let me read something else. What else I want to talk about? Let's talk about the game, WWE 2K26. Let's talk about it. ESPN. WWE 2K26 reveals top rated male and female superstars. WWE 2K26 release date is still 2 weeks, blah, blah, blah. Stone Cold Steve Austin, Roman Reigns, John Cena heads up the men's division. Austin, the 6-time WWE champion, 3-time Royal Rumble. Oh, they're talking about Steve Austin. Okay. Top male wrestlers. Stone Cold Steve Austin, 97. Roman Reigns, 97. John Cena, 97. John Cena, 2012, 96. The Rock, 01, 96. The Undertaker, 96. Stone Cold Steve Austin, 2000, 95. The Rock, 95. Cody Rhodes, 95. Roman Reigns, again, I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry. The Roman Reigns that was the 97 was Roman Reigns 2022. Now, the regular Roman Reigns, I guess he's not a 97, he's a 95. I guess they said he was here less this year than he was in 2022. I'm assuming that's when the Bloodline storyline was very hot back in 2022. John Cena, 2015, 95. So again, there's these different Roman Reigns and different John Cenas, which are the top, wrestlers of the roster. Then we have the top females, as usual. The go-to is going to be Miss Rhea Ripley. She's at a 96. We have Becky Lynch at a 94, the regular Becky Lynch. Again, the regular Rhea Ripley. Bianca Belair is at a 94, so that's good. I mean, she's been injured for a while now. They still have her this high on the roster. That's kind of amazing. Again, she missed almost half the year, and she's still very, very high on the roster. So that's very good to see that she's still that high on the roster. Let's go back. Charlotte Flair's a 93, so I guess even though she's been wrestling a little bit more than Bianca Belair this year, she's been part of that tag team shit, so I guess we really don't really care. So we got her as a 93. We have Io Sky as a 93. Sometimes she does botch, so I will say I kind of agree with that. I'm not saying that she's not a good wrestler, but she does botch a little bit because she's a little too fast sometimes for her own good. Naomi at 92. I think this is the best we've ever seen Naomi. Stephanie Vaquer, also a 92. The current women's champion is a 92. Less than her challenger. I mean, I know she's not challenging Stephanie Vaquer, but I'm just saying someone that's not the champion is less than a champion. Liv Morgan, 92. I guess that's okay. I guess I do like Liv Morgan, so that's still in the 90s, so good for her. We would have never guessed that when she debuted with the Riot Squad, that she would be like one of the top 10 females of the company. Well, one of the top 5, I would say. AJ Lee, 92. Like I said, they're overhyping her a little bit, I will say, and this is someone that is an AJ Lee fan myself, and I was very excited to see her come back, but I do feel like she's being a little overhyped, just to be honest. I don't know if she should be that high up. Asuka, 91. Again, we have someone like Asuka. Oh, this 92 is AJ Lee from 2015, so they don't even have the regular AJ Lee listed as the top 10 females, because again, this is AJ Lee 2015. Again, was she even part of the company? I guess that was her last year in WWE 2015. Tiffany Stratton, 91. Alundra Blade, 94. 1994 and 91. So again, not really surprising with what they rated them. Rhea Ripley being the top female. Are we surprised about that, YouTube? Absolutely not. No hate against her, just really obvious. We have 5 superstar ratings WWE 2K26 got wrong. I'm on SI.com. Gunther, 93. In the past year, the ring general has retired Goldberg, John Cena, and AJ Styles. Retiring just one of the current future WWE Hall of Famers will be legendary achievement for most superstars. So they're saying with Gunther, he should be a little bit higher than just a 93, which I don't even think I saw him on the list, so I don't even think I knew what his rating was because he wasn't on the top 10. Io Sky, they're saying, speaking of superstars who had an excellent 2025, there's an argument to be made that Io Sky was the Women's Wrestler of the Year. She defeated Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair in the takedown on the Match of the Year at WrestleMania 41. Also faced Ripley in another class at the All Women's Evolution. Again, I'm saying she's good, but she's really like botchy because she's too fast. They're saying that she should be a little bit higher. Nick Aldis, 85, is a tough job being the SmackDown General Manager. Superstars like Drew McIntyre don't listen to a word you say. So perhaps the 2K team decided to reward the GM for all his hard work. Alright, this little justification for Aldis, who hasn't wrestled since 2023, earning a higher ranking than Penta, Trick Williams, Oh, so they're saying that this should have went lower. Nick Aldis. JC Jane, 80. That is a little bold. She was the TNA Knockouts champion and the NXT Women's Champion at once. Despite for the 2-time NXT Women's Championship wins, JC Jane had a career year in 2025, first shocking Stephanie Verker to win the NXT Women's Championship last May before going on to hold both the title and the TNA Knockouts. While some argue that the jump from 75 in WWE 2K25 to 80 in WWE 2K26 is fine, JC deserves better. Lita 87 in WWE 2K revealed Big E know that Lita in the conversation for the greatest women's superstar in WWE history. However, she is tied with 2017's version Charlotte Flair number 8 of the women's legend rating list. So again, she didn't get that much like Trish, I'm assuming. I didn't even see Trish Stratus on the list, so I can't even compare. I guess I'm assuming Trish Stratus is a 90. What is her rating that they're saying that? I know she's on the cover too. Oh, she's at 89. So she's at 87. Lita, Trish is at 89. I guess Jelly Roll's in the game with the 80. I guess Jelly Roll, if you are a huge Jelly Roll fan, this is for you, this game. But let's continue to another wrestling news story. Let's do another news story. Here's Wrestling Inc. 5 WWE wrestlers currently being wasted on the main roster. The Street Profits. Kind of agree with that. That's one of them. I do feel like the Street Profits are just afterthoughts at this point. YouTube, and by the way, please like and follow. I post pro wrestling news at least 3 times a week. How are you guys? And this weekend, by the way, it was a little bit busy. I went to a 40th party yesterday. That was nice. I'm doing my taxes. Almost done with that. Did you guys do your taxes? How are you guys? A little bit sunny here in Michigan. Again, I do want to take a moment to talk about my life. This is Marquelworld, all things pro wrestling news and my life. But still doing my taxes. Did get my nails done. Probably can't see them that well in this lighting, but when I record my regular videos, the lighting's way better. But yes, I had a fun, busy yet weekend. Today is chill Sunday. I hope you guys are chilling if you guys are off on the weekends. Not leaving this house. It's the kind of day it is. I'm not leaving this apartment. I don't want to leave my apartment every single day of the week. There should be one day where you get to just not leave. And everyone should do that. There should be one day where you have to yourself. Not always doing shit or doing chores. But Johnny Gargano's the next person they're saying is wasted. I would agree. But I guess they're giving him this sympathy. He's tired kind of storyline. Tyler Bates and Pete Dunne. Okay. Ming Chen, I guess she gets a lot of backstage stuff. Motor City Machine Guns, yeah, I kind of forgot about them. But, we shall see what happens with the Motor City Machine Guns. Again, I'm saying this is a stacked roster. They can't put everyone on TV. It's all about Elimination Chamber, what they're talking about, which we already talked about that. So, really, Finn Balor, I don't really know where he can go from here other than feuding with someone from the Judgment Day. Seriously, I don't know what else he can do at this point other than feud with someone from the Judgment Day. Ringside News, Logan Paul reveals he lost $1 million bidding war for Hulk Hogan's WrestleMania 1 boots. So I guess he got outbidded. We don't have that kind of money, so we don't have those kind of problems. A lot of people are talking about the booze with the crates. Okay, this is weird. Ric Flair versus Hulk Hogan will happen again, says Eric Bischoff. Fans can't expect Ric Flair versus Hulk Hogan to happen again, according to Eric Bischoff, despite Flair being retired from in-ring action and Hogan being dead. Flair completed in his final match in 2022 while Hogan passed away in July 2025. The two-time Hall of Famer was 71-year-old. During a recent edition of the 83 podcast, Eric Bischoff suggested that AI, oh Lord, could give fans another showdown between the two legends. He said, "I don't think it's far-fetched at all. I'll be shocked if it doesn't happen within the next couple of years. It's really just a question, not if it's going to happen, it's when it's going to happen." Flair and Hogan worked house shows upon Rick's arrival in WWF in 1991, with many believing a WrestleMania showdown would take place. I don't know if I want to see AI in wrestling. Do you guys want to see AI in wrestling? Let me know. But AI in wrestling, I don't think that's something I want to see. Again, AI in wrestling, that is something I don't want to see. Right? I'm like, what's he talking about? I thought maybe he was going to say something in heaven was going to happen. And I was like, okay, maybe he's talking about the afterlife show. But I'm like, Ric Flair's not even dead yet, so why would he even talk about him like that, like he's already deceased? But, okay, I guess I didn't even think about AI. See, I don't even think about AI like that. So I'm like, oh, okay, AI. So we have something to do with Ring of Honor. More on big changes coming to Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor. See, I'm talking about all of this today. See, it's been at least an hour already, so I do want to gossip. So we're talking about Ring of Honor too now. As we reported yesterday here on EWN, this is eWrestlingNews.com. This was published February 25th. As we reported yesterday here on eWin, Ring of Honor is scheduled to hold a set of television tapings at WJCT Studios in Jacksonville, Florida on Sunday, March 1st, which is today. Okay. And I think I saw photos. Sources within All Elite Wrestling indicate that the promotion is considering making studio tapings more consistent part of Ring of Honor's presentation moving forward. Okay, so they're trying to do a set place instead of AEW traveling, and then before AEW, by the way, let's film Ring of Honor real fast 3 hours before the show, and please, you guys have time, come 3 hours before AEW or 2 hours before AEW so you guys can be part of the crowd. Now I guess it's just an intimate crowd that's just there for Ring of Honor exclusively, which I do feel like is a good deal, because you should want Ring of Honor fans at a Ring of Honor event. Again, these are AEW fans half the time that are at the Ring of Honor events. Yes, they happen to be there because they're already waiting for AEW, but if they're watching Ring of Honor, they may not be as ecstatic because they may not even know what the hell's going on, because they may not even watch the product. During a recent episode of Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer addressed questions about the potential shift. It was noted that March 1st event is essentially a trial one. If the taping is well received and proves success, WJCT Studios could become a regular venue for Ring of Honor program, Meltzer said. This is an experiment. The idea is that if it goes well, this will be where all the Ring of Honor tapings will be done at the studio, which is right by the Jaguars office, which is where Tony Khan works from. So it's basically a TV studio in downtown Jacksonville. And the idea is to no longer tape the Ring of Honor shows on Wednesdays or Saturday. A lot of times it's been Saturdays. And I mean, that will make for, it's easier because there's a lot of tapings coming up that are double tapings. You told you. Not all of them, but there's a lot of tapings coming up where they're going to tape the Wednesday and the Saturday shows, Dynamite Collision, on Wednesday night. And that doesn't leave any time for Ring of Honor tapings unless you want to do, I mean, it's already a 4-hour show, but that's the idea. Okay. So a place to shoot Ring of Honor, kind of like AEW had its own little home. Remember, they had a place in Jacksonville, AEW, where they would film a lot. I guess this is the same for Ring of Honor. A place, a homegrown place where they can tape Ring of Honor. Let's do one more. Allegedly, with Rhea Ripley and Jake Hargo, maybe a triple threat with Tiffany Stratton exercising her rights as she's owed a rematch after losing her women's championship to Jade. That's supposedly what the rumor is. I'm just looking for another news article. I apologize. Oh Lord, I did not even recognize them. Lord have mercy. That is not a cute look, honey. Lord, that is not cute. Let me put them on here, child. Oh Lord, I did not recognize them. This is not cute. I know what they was going for though, but this is not cute. What the hell? I guess this is the inspiration. I don't like their makeup in this photo. It looks very, very dark. But I know they're trying to have a different look now since they're part of a different promotion, so they don't always want to have the same look. You know, I guess they want to rebrand, which I'm not mad at them. I'm just saying that this makeup isn't good on them. And that's not really a dig, because if I say the makeup's not really good on them, that doesn't mean I think they're ugly. Because if they were ugly, I would say, okay, the makeup, oh my god, I hate the way they look. But I'm actually saying that they could look better, because I've seen better. But again, maybe it's just the angle of this photo. And it's been a couple weeks since the Inspiration debut on the AEW at a house show in Australia. Now they are geared up to make their official debut on the February 28th episode of Collision. A vision that aired with the duo sending a message to the team they face in Australia, the Brawling Bros, that they will be a tag action rematch this Wednesday on Dynamite. So, oh Lord. Speaking of AEW, where's Sammy Guevara? Where's Ace Austin? Again, he was someone that had a lot of promise in the company. They're not using him. Again, I'm talking about AEW in a negative way for once, you guys. Some people say I only talk about WWE. But in negative ways. But yeah, AEW, they're kind of missing the ball with a Sammy Guevara and an Ace Austin. Again, why sign these people if you're just going to not do shit with them? Maybe Ace Austin is part of Ring of Honor, and I just don't realize that because I'm not watching that, as much. But again, I don't know what happened to Ace Austin. Let's ask ChatGPT. I started to say I would ask ChatGPT some things. So let's go ask. Where is Ace Austin in AEW? Is he being used in Ring of Honor? What went wrong? He's thick as hell. Say no. Let me not add that part. I hate doing ChatGPT on the laptop because it's way slower. I think it might be this browser that I'm on, because it's really slow. Like compared to my phone. Like when I use ChatGPT, my phone, I get results faster. But here, like just for it to send a message, it takes like 10 seconds for it to even submit what I, typed. It takes like a whole, like it still isn't submitting. Like stop freezing every 5 minutes. See, I probably can get the result faster on my phone than waiting on this. Maybe it's just a Firefox thing. Maybe I gotta go in a different web browser. See, let me try a different web browser because it's being slow as hell. Because I really like using ChatGPT to be messy with, some conspiracies and to ask about gossip. Okay, so now my Opera don't want to work either. Watch them say I'm not signed in. I knew it. Let me just ask them my phone, child. I know I'm signed in, but now they want to do this. Oh, you're not signed in bullshit. What happened to Ace Austin in AEW? Is he being used in Ring of Honor? What went wrong? See, look, this is going to give me a result within 30 seconds compared to the Firefox where they just had me sitting there for like a whole minute with no results coming up. So it's searching the web. So, again, I don't know what's going on with the storylines though. I do want to say this about Lash Legend and Nia Jax. I really didn't talk about them, but good job WWE for making things a little bit different. I'm really happy for Lash. See, I already got the results. You notice how I already got the results on my phone compared to a we're not doing it on my laptop. It's so slow just for it to even send something. But Lash Legend, congratulations, boo. Very excited for you. I see they got a lot of plans for you, so you better keep killing it, honey. Nia Jax, well deserved. She don't need to be main champion, that's fine. What happened to Ace Austin in AEW? He is still signed to AEW. Ace Austin officially signed to AEW in August 2025 after leaving TNA, debuting on AEW Collision against Ricochet. Tony Khan confirmed he was all elite immediately after the debut. So, not released, not injured long term, not gone from the company. He's still under contract. Is he being used in Ring of Honor? Yes, mostly. Ace made his Ring of Honor debut in December 2025 and has worked multiple Ring of Honor matches through early 2026. Recent Ring of Honor appearances include January 2026, several Ring of Honor single wins, AEW record, 2 wins, 4 losses, Ring of Honor record, undefeated streak early on. His AEW debut momentum started early. His first big moments: lost debut match to Ricochet, lost TNT title challenge later. Losing early in AEW often signaled mid-card build first rather than instant push. Bang Bang instability. Ace Austin joined Jay White's Bang Bang gang, but the faction hit problems. Injuries to Midgets. Bullet Club branding dissolved in 2026, shifting creative focus, so his faction didn't become the launchpad people expected. Losing the ABC tag identity before arriving in TNA, Ace's biggest success was with Chris Bay, ABC, but Bay suffered a serious injury before Ace left TNA, forcing Ace into single mode right before signing, meaning he'll ride in AEW without his strongest character presentation. Ace Austin is currently in what fans call the Ring of Honor holding pattern. That means AEW likes him enough to sign long term. They're keeping him active, but haven't found his breakout storyline yet. He isn't buried, he's waiting for creative timing. What likely happens next? More realistic paths. Ring of Honor breakout star, and then an AEW return most likely, win something or gets hot reactions. Tag rival, if AEW pairs him with the right partner, his charisma shines again. Bang Bang Gang refresh, faction stories often reboot suddenly in AEW. So again, that's what ChatGPT thinks about Ace Austin. I do feel like it did have some good things to say, but I will say this, that he is missed. Didn't really think about the whole child, let me drink something before you tell me your news, honey. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, how are you, Grandmaster? What is this big news? You have to tell us. How are you? We are listening, so how are you? Happy Sunday. Me and Frank and the others that may be watching. Sorry. I mean, I'm glad that, Hey, this is Marquelworld, all things pro wrestling news and my life, and we do gossip here. And I see we got somebody that's bringing some gossip to us. Frank does like to bring his own gossip, by the way. This is watered down. I'm sorry, this is watered down. I hate when you have something in your cup for so long to the point you finally drink it. It's like watered down. Lash Legend, the Jakara girl, the Masha girl with the lollipop. I guess she could have been Nia Jax in this situation. I really don't see the difference. I mean, I guess Nia Jax, she still has more star power, main roster familiarity. I mean, I guess she's been on the main roster longer. Sorry, again, I said I was doing my W2. I wasn't lying. But, I guess Lash Legend being paired with Nia Jax was a little bit helpful because it did help with her star power. Let me just put it in here. But let me read this. Rhea slated to beat Jay for the women's title in the opening match at Mania Night 1, free on ESPN. So this is how desperate they've gotten, that they're making it free during WrestleMania Night 1 to get people to subscribe. It's kind of a smart way to get people to subscribe to this ESPN bullshit. Just being real, because you know me, even though they say it ain't working no more, I'm going to use my surf shark. Like Stephanie McMahon said, I'm going to use my little surf shark. But I guess they're giving us Night 1 for free. Again, to get us to sign up for this fucking app. Again, I'm not paying $30. Everything going up near me. My rent went up, boo. Netflix went up, honey. Auto insurance went up. Groceries went up. The toilet paper to wipe my ass went up. The paper towel to wipe my fingers or clean my apartment went up. I don't think I got the little coins to be putting $30. I mean, I might have it, but I may not have it and may want to spend it on this shit. So, that being said, they're going to have to do something about that price. Because, you know what? I ain't paying no motherfucking $30. Again, everything has went up. The economy has went up. You get a small raise, but everything else has went up 3 times. So, your raise is not really a raise when everything else goes up with the raise. Just saying. You get a raise, but then everything else go up. I mean, I'm just saying, Marquelworld, all things pro wrestling news my life. My student loans, you know, I got me a bachelor's communication. One of these loan people, I was only paying $19. I was like, okay, I can pay my little $19. Then went to Ed Financial, went to $19 last year to $205 a month. I'm like, damn, I got me a small little raise, and you guys send it somewhere else. Now they talking about $250 a month they want now. Child, boo. ESPN may not be in my budget, honey. Because I like to take my trips. I'm getting me a new car this year. I do not want a car note. When I get cars, I don't do car notes. I try to get a used car. So I'm trying to get me a used car and just buy it upright. And get rid of this Impala I got. WWE trying to get views. That is why Night 1 are free. Or Night 1. Oh, okay. They trademarked Lash Hacker for Becky yesterday morning. Becky will be turning back to a face along with her husband. Okay, so thank you for that. Thank you for coming in here. By the way, hot and heated with some of your own gossip. I do appreciate that. What do you want us to call you, by the way? Do you want to be called the Grandmaster Souls? Do you have a nickname, by the way? Welcome, welcome. I think we talked before, so I do thank you for coming in, always bringing in your own gossip. But what can we call you? I mean, I don't mind calling you that, but if you have a nickname. The first hour of both night one. Oh, the first hour. Thank you for correcting me. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit tired and I'm not wearing my glasses, so I can't really see that far. So you're saying basically the first hour of both night one and night two will be free on ESPN. So they're really trying to get you by giving you both night one and two, kind of to give you a little teaser, like, hey, night one and night two, the first hours, the quality looks a little bit better. Because let's be real, when you do these VPNs, the quality are not at 100% as if you were streaming it outright. Again, there may be a little bit of delays, there may be a little fizzle. I know some people are saying sometimes when they do these VPNs, it's all choppy or it's fizzled to the point they just want to buy it. Yes, Frank, everything's going up. I mean, gas went up. I mean, these streaming things, I have all of them. I like to have them just to have them. Like, I have what I pay for. I pay for Hulu. I think that's like $28. I pay for Netflix. I think that's $25. I pay for Sling TV. That was $45. Now they went up to $50. That's like live cable. I pay for Spotify. They're the only ones that really, knock on wood, that really don't go up. They're still $9.99. I pay for Peacock. That's like $18.99. I pay Paramount Plus. I think that's $16.99 with Showtime, Paramount Plus. I pay for Amazon, and that's $16.99, which comes with Prime. So again, I do pay for all this bullshit. I just like to have it. So if you tell me something's streaming, at least I have it. Oh, okay, I have Amazon Prime. Oh, okay, I have Paramount Plus. Oh, I have Netflix. Hulu, they've gotten a little greedy. They hide a lot of their shit with this premium bullshit. It's like, okay, when you guys first started, I didn't have to have premium. But now it's like I have to have all these other plans just to watch. Oh, yeah, I have to have Hulu Live to watch half their shit that I used to watch before they put it behind this paywall. And not even a paywall. It's a greedier paywall because again, I'm already paying for Hulu. They just now made Hulu Live, which they hide everything in. Rob Van Dam allegedly says on Wrestling Inc. Rob Van Dam says they're not testing for weed in WWE, so he does say he can show up there because they're not testing for weed. I know a lot of workplaces still test for weed, but I guess WWE is not one that is testing for weed. We do know what happened to Miss Liv Morgan when she got arrested 2 years ago, or was that last year? But she got to keep her job, which I'm not saying she shouldn't have keep her job. I'm just saying that it's not a big factor in WWE weed like it used to be. Look, I just love how he just like comes in here like giving us all the tea. Like Don Henson signed a 2-year deal. He was devastated. Sorry, I just had to add the enunciation just to, bring your point across even a little bit more to us. He was devastated by his reception last night and was sadly tweeted, "I quit." But after several minutes deleted. Not sure what's really going on. Oh, that's some tea. Let's go look. And once I get this music thing going, I have energy. Because, again, I was sick last week. So I feel like I'm not sick no more. I just feel like the energy part is what I still have. I'm not 100% back in my energy. So next week, when you guys see me talking, I'll have way more energy. But right now, I'm still just low on energy. By the way, I did watch Scream 7. I was going to say, I said my weekend was a little bit busy, but my mom's going to Germany on Wednesday, so I made sure me and her saw Scream 7, so I got us tickets, so we went. Yeah, we went at noon. I got us tickets, at noon. It wasn't. What type of music? How you know I do music? Did I give that away? Did I say something? How you know if I do music? How are you, by the way? Disney Plus and Hulu, same company. Okay, I do know Disney Plus is where they have the Discovery, right? Or not Discovery. What is that? Where all that Earth shows, where they be traveling the Earth. It's a network. They be having stuff about animals, about Earth. Will Smith's TV show is on there. Me and my mom is watching that. Is that the Discovery? I don't know. If music, I like pop. I listen to pop, and I used to make pop music. But I love pop. I love pop. So I love. Oh, okay. Because I'm about to say I'm actually working on something that's coming out. My new song called Tagless. Someone say, when did I reveal that coming out? But yes, I'm planning on coming out with my new single, Tagless. I haven't made a song in over a decade. So yes, Tagless is my single I'm working on. That's why I'm like, damn, when did I tell you guys that I was working on that? I know I said I've been working on some projects. But yes, one of that is Tagless, a pop song I'm making. But I'm also working on a documentary about Matt Riddle. So yes, since I'm revealing what I'm doing, yes, I'm working on a documentary about the ups and the down of Matt Riddle. I want it to be at least 30 minutes, documentary type, where I'm speaking, voiceover. I use different programs. Like for music, sometimes I use Reaper. I don't know if you know what that is. I used to use LMS, but I don't really have access since I don't have Windows anymore. But I do like Reaper. Audacity used to be free, which it still is, but I don't use that no more. I used to use Mixcraft. There used to be another DAW I used to use. At one point, I was using FL Studios, but that shit got too hard for me. But I do like Reaper. Again, now I pay someone to mix and master because I used to be doing it all by myself. But yeah, it is fun making music. But no, yeah, I'm working on a documentary too on Matt Riddle, the rise, the fall, and maybe the return. I do feel like he is someone that people have written off, Matt Riddle. So I do want to go in the history of him. Oh, okay. So, how is it being a songwriter compared to the AI these days? Is it hard? I know AI can be competitive. I know Timberland is in an AI commercial actually encouraging AI in music, but again, he's probably getting a big check. Frank is laughing a little bit. He's like, why is he devastated? Basically, like he's for the children. And I guess it makes a little bit more sense why he's here compared to a whatchamacallit, compared to a AEW. WWE is a little bit more childish, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I'm just saying they are a little bit more childish because it's PG rated compared to AEW, and their rating is what's PG-13. So yes, they are a little bit more childish. WWE. Let's talk about Ray Phoenix and AEW and WWE. Is this something that he regrets? Let's be a little bit messy now. Ray Phoenix is an afterthought. I think I just saw him get defeated. Was he the one facing Carmelo Hayes on SmackDown? I know he got defeated somewhere recently, but Ray Phoenix is not really the hot brother in WWE. I guess he has to ride the coattails of his brother Penta. Even though Penta isn't getting a title soon, he's getting a mega push. What we got to say about Ray Phoenix? You think he regrets signing this contract by now? I'm not saying he should regret it, but he needs to look in the mirror and see what the hell's going on and see that he is not part of those conversations when they're talking about creative and who should be doing what. Again, he is someone that is good for jobbing. Again, I won't say that he is someone that loses fast, but he is someone that usually loses. I will say this, him teaming up with his brother, I guess that'll be the only thing they really have for him at this point, Ray Phoenix. Again, they could be, they could give him the United States Championship belt. I mean, at one point, it's just an open challenge, open challenge, open challenge. They really don't have any storylines going on with that title. Let's just be real with this. Let's just be real with it. They don't really have any storylines going on for the United States Championship. It's always just a open challenge. It's never a real storyline, a real reason why they're fighting. SmackDown, he is with the jobbers. You did say earlier about the catering, so yeah, I agree with you on this one. This one, he probably is in catering. Or he's on WWE Main Event, which I don't talk about that because I don't even know how to catch that shit. Oh, no, I'm lying. You guys already told me. YouTube, so never mind. I know where to catch it. I just don't have the time to. Penta versus Dom tomorrow night. Dom's retaining. Finn versus Dom at Mania. Oh, see, I said that, and I don't know if you were there when I said that earlier. I did say that. I did say that with Finn Balor losing to CM Punk is no surprise. But at this rate, it feels like he's going to have to face someone from the Judgment Day, which I did state it could be Dominic Mysterio. Dominic Mysterio is that cocky fucker of the Judgment Day, double champion, Intercontinental champion. I'm the one that gets the solo gold. Y'all hoes always getting these fucking tag gold. I mean, you, JD, all you do is always lose, and you always getting tag gold. Finn Balor, you can win the tag gold, but you can't even win the WWE Championship. Who else we gonna dub? Because, Dominic Mysterio has to be the heel in this if they want to make Finn the babyface. Right, Liv. Yeah, Dominic. I mean, I was the women's champion, and I mean, Raquel couldn't even get it done. I mean, Roxanne, all she could be is the tag team champion. Yeah, we run the Judgment Day. I mean, I guess that's kind of how they could go with that. Again, Dominic Mysterio getting cocky, and then Finn Balor, oh, I can't win solo go? Well, I can beat you. That's how corny they'll make it. Oh, you can beat me? Yeah, I can beat you. WrestleMania for that Intercontinental Championship, baby. But it could be a match where they don't end the Judgment Day. It's just a match that they're feuding. To prove a point, if that makes sense. I'm trying to sign into my Apple. I know I don't know this by heart. I knew I didn't know my Apple ID. I'm so horrible with these passwords. Like, it's like horrible, like how many passwords I have to save. But speaking of my life, I did like Scream 7. Let's talk about that briefly. I don't want to go off hands, but I do like talking about my life. Scream 7 was good. It wasn't the best, but it was decent. So that is my password. See, I hate this. Like when you type your password and then they still say it's wrong. Oh, okay. So it was right. Allow. I'm trying to see if ChatGPT is better on this one. On this. Okay, let's see. What is next for Finn Balor after losing to Punk? WrestleMania ideas. But let's see. Okay. Main event is Jobber Show. Main event of first night will be Randy versus Jacob versus Cody versus Drew. 4-way match. Your thoughts? I feel like Drew would have to retain. I'm sorry, I was just thinking about what would have to happen in the match, and I would have to feel like Drew McIntyre would have to retain to make his title reign look legit. I feel like just because he has tough competition, him losing so fast would be a disappointment. So I think he would have to win. If we're being honest, I think he would have to win. That's my thoughts. I would think he would have to win. I would hate for him to lose. Again, I feel like that would be a good win for his title reign, him defeating all those people. So on record, it would be good. Again, if they go the safe route, they may have Cody Rhodes win, and then Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton at SummerSlam. Could be the match. Of course, it works better on this browser. Give me 1 second. But with Cody Rhodes, do we want to see him eventually turn heel? I mean, that's what they keep on fucking indicating, that he's going to turn heel. But we haven't seen it yet. So is this something we want to see? Is this something we want to see? I know I do. This is ridiculous how much stuff you have to sign into. Oh my gosh. Okay, so what is next for? With Finn Balor winning, I don't even remember the last time he had a world championship. Now that if we're talking real, let's talk real. When was the last time he was the world championship holder? I don't remember the last time he held the world championship, Finn Balor. Was it when they still had that red title? But let me get back to this. I can't, not Jobberland. I mean, main event, I guess. Isn't that filmed in between another show? So it's not like a regular show where people are going there to watch them fight. They're going there to watch another show, and they happen to be there for main event. Kind of like Ring of Honor. AJ Styles, again, he signed a new deal. He will be a trainer. Allegedly, it helped the next generation in WWE. I always thought he would, help the next generation in TNA, but I guess he's doing that for WWE. But I think I might get off soon and lay down. It's about to be 6 o'clock. I do know I was online at least an hour and a half, an hour and 40 minutes now. But I will be online soon. I post at least 3 times a week, and I will do a live next week for a review, and I will do a another gossip review next weekend. But real fast before I go down, CM Punk defeated Finn Balor at Elimination Chamber. What's next for him? More realistic paths. Judgment Day, breakup, or Finn separation, most likely. This has been teased for months. Judgment Day members questioning Finn's leadership. Finn chasing single glory again. Less cheating interference recently. Booking direction. Finn realizes Judgment Day held him back. Dominic or JD turns on him. Vin becomes a babyface again. Crowds love sympathetic veteran Finn. The demon returns. Very possible. Finn himself has teased the demon possibly returning. WWE only brings demon back when big redemption story. So we shall see what happens. Possible Mania matches. Him versus Damian Priest. Judgment Day Civil War. Him versus Dominic Mysterio. Huge crowd reaction. Him versus a rising star. Trick Williams or Braun Breaker. Or the Demon versus Gunther. Fans would go insane. I guess Gunther facing the Demon would be a little bit different, if I'm being real. It wouldn't be him trying to end a career, but it would be him trying to end a Demon. That would be a little different. But I'm getting off YouTube a little bit tired now. I'm about to take a quick nap and clean a little bit and finish my taxes. But this was a gossip session. I did an hour and 45 minutes. We gossiped about Ring of Honor a little bit too. TNA a little bit. WWE. I wanted to make sure I did most of the major promotions. Thank you those that came, such as Frank, the Grand Master. Frank is always a pleasure. Grand Masters, you came with your own gossip. Anthony, thank you for popping in like you usually do. Spetty, it was nice talking to you like usual. Thank you, Spetty, and those that watch and those that commented. But I'm getting off. I will be live at least twice next week, and I will post at least 3 times a week next week as well. That's what I do every week. But hope all is well. Elimination Chamber. How is Raw going to be? We shall see. But I am on TikTok, Marquelworld. I'm on X, Blue Sky, Instagram, Marquelworld. TikTok, I post at least 3 times a week on there as well, Marquelworld. But Pro Wrestling T, TEA, a Facebook group I run, post wrestling news and gossip. You guys can post as well. But this is Marquelworld. All things pro wrestling news in my life. See you guys very soon, YouTube.